Hey guys, it's Danny. Today it's so cold. I'm sorry if you hear the AC noise in the back, I just can't. It was 12 degrees Celsius in the greenhouse this morning. I'm trying to make some economy with electricity because, yeah, I told you, it's very expensive. Nowadays it tripled in price. So yeah, it wasn't the best night to make economy last night, and it's freaking cold in this room right now. But with that useless intro out of the way, let me introduce you to today's subject. I already geared up. We are going to attempt to save this Tolumnia orchid, which is the product of my own neglect. As you can see, it looks absolutely horrendous. There are multiple things going on here. There is a story which I will tell you, because the state of this orchid, as I was saying, is my own doing. So without further ado, let's get to work today. You might have seen this orchid in some of my previous videos. It had a few dried leaves, right? And I told you I need to get to that because the roots dried out right after it was in bloom, and it had a glorious bloom show. Right after it was in bloom, I noticed that the leaves were shriveled and all of that, and I checked the potting medium. It was so bone dry. I either skipped watering it, either it consumed more water than I knew, and I didn't take into account the fact that it was in bloom as well, and it consumed so much water and so much energy. Anyway, bottom line, the roots got dried inside the medium and died off. Tolumnias do that. If there's one thing you should know about Tolumnias, is that they do have pretty sensitive roots, kind of like Cattleyas. They are easy to grow, but if they're set back, they take a lot of time to come back to life. I love Tolumnias, and generally speaking, I have no issues with them, but sometimes accidents happen, and when this happens, it takes a long time for a Tolumnia to bounce back. They're not very vigorous in that respect. So a couple of months ago, I told you that, yeah, I need to get to it because and by they I mean the roots, they're dry. I need to see which roots are dead, which roots are alive. So I got it out of the cabinet, and I had it, like, if you remember, in that bamboo shelf outside in the grow room, and I kept it there with the intent of getting to it one day. And it was 2 months ago. I did not get to it, obviously. Some other stuff happened in the meantime, like, look at that, some rotting. This is new, this is brand new, and it's happened because I do not use the AC at night anymore. The roots inside are done, so my watering only started to degrade the medium. It did not hydrate the orchid, and with the medium degradation came other roots starting to suffer. It was a whole chain reaction just because I did not get to this orchid in time. So I think today is the day to get to it. I have only this growth that is still good. It's shriveled, it means it does not have roots, and I do see a bit of mold. So it's now or never. I might lose this orchid, but let's go ahead. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look how many roots we used to have. They're not good anymore. Signs of mold. Yeah, we're not looking good at all, as I suspected. So leaving all of these roots start to degrade in the potting mix led to this. Led to the stem being affected as it traveled. The infection, probably they got infected at some point. The infection traveled further up and completely destroyed these stems. This is stem rot. It is not crown rot. Yep, it started from the base here. Right, so look at this sphagnum moss. It's also dark in color, and it's not that old. When did I repot this? Oh, it's April 2022, so it's been a while. The medium is not so fresh, but still, yeah, all of these roots are gone. And look what we have here. So what I need to do is remove all of the dried bits. I'm gonna try not to detach this growth because I don't want to rip anything. I'm hoping that it's still in good condition. I don't know. To be fully honest, I don't know at this point, but I'm gonna give it my best effort. And I really wanted to make this video just to show you what can happen if you neglect stuff. Because, some stuff you can postpone, others you cannot. It just so happens that life gets busy, and I know. Hold on, I don't have any pruners near. Alrighty, so yes, I know life can get such a pain in the behind sometimes. I'm experiencing it right now. So it's fine. It's fine. Oops. Stem rot. There is nothing to to save from this orchid. I'm sorry, I wanted to make an educational video, but you know what? I'm gonna make it a cautionary tale. Let's put it like that. And you know what? I'm gonna show you how my other Tolumnias are doing, just so we don't completely ruin this video. I really wanted to do a helpful video for you guys, but there's nothing we can do because this orchid has its entire stem rotted. And there's nothing we can do. No, the base is rotten. It's mush. Look at that. There's nothing I can save. You see? So take this as a cautionary tale. Don't freak out if this happens to you. It's like, you know, that's how life goes, right? We can't predict when things will get complicated, right? But this is what can happen if you postpone things. So let's make a little summary because this is an important educational video. First and foremost, I do have videos on root rot, but I will reiterate. Root rot is not a disease. Root rot is an outcome of something. In this instance, the outcome of the roots drying out too much and dying, and then me watering the plant led to the roots, which are already dead, rotting. That is the natural and normal course of life. If a leaf or an organic thing is not alive anymore, it starts to break down and rot. So that's what happened. All of these roots, which were pretty considerable, we had a very big root system here. All of these roots started to break down, started to acidify the medium. The medium gets acidified by the release of carbon dioxide, which is one of the byproducts of breaking down, of decomposition, along with others. Now, this continued to happen over the past few months, maybe more than 2 months. It's 2 months that I noticed it. So this continued to happen unaddressed, and me continuously watering this orchid in the hopes that, yeah, the remaining roots might get a little hydration until I get to it. So this happened, or continued to happen, until all of the roots were mush. Now, when we have breaking down organics, we also have a good breeding ground for bacteria and pathogens, which will take advantage of the moisture, byproducts, and the environment overall that these rotting roots are creating. So these pathogens, which are not necessarily root-attacking pathogens maybe, they will start to attack the next best thing, which is alive, which is the stem, or the base of, the stems. This is a sympodial orchid, so let's just call it the fans, right? So they started to attack the base of the fans. If that gets annihilated, the entire orchid gets annihilated. Now, the base of the orchid doesn't all go in one piece. As you can see, this orchid had multiple fans. So one fan went, then another, because the infection traveled through the rhizome. This being sympodial, it has a rhizome. So the infection traveled through the rhizome until it reached, finally, the new growth, which I was trying to save. I thought, well, today is the day, because if I let it go on further, I'm gonna lose the orchid. Too late, as you can see. So that's what happened to this orchid. It was a beautiful one. It was Tolumnia carrot, not the tidiest Tolumnia, and it produces so many blooms that it can dehydrate itself. That's pretty much how it happened. It produced so many blooms that it depleted itself and dehydrated itself, and I did not water it in time. And since it was in the cabinet, which is warmer, it dehydrated even faster. So a little bit of a snowball effect there, a little bit of a, misfortune. Not all of the Tolumnias will go through this, but I will keep an eye on my Tolumnias. Now I have them in self-watering pots, so I'm much more confident that I will not let them dry. Right, so let's end it on a positive note though, even though, don't take this as a negative, take it as a learning lesson. I will definitely take it as such. I already didn't put my Tolumnias in self-watering. And let's just end it on a high note and look at the Tolumnias that are all in spike right now, and I'm going to show you how they are doing. Alrighty, so let's make a little collection update because there are some interesting things that I'm going to show you. So these are all my Tolumnias at the moment. There is another one down there, but it doesn't fit anymore because the flower spikes are quite tall. It's that type of Tolumnia. So let's start with, I guess, this corner. I actually do notice that Tolumnias seem to have some seasons. Sometimes they bloom in the spring and they start to grow like flower spikes in the winter, and sometimes they bloom in the autumn, and these are the ones that bloomed earlier. You can see they still have some flowers. They're quite long lasting actually. These ones bloomed in the autumn for me. So they kind of work a little bit like oncidiums. I am not 100% sure at this point if the temperature variation affects them in any way. I tend to believe it doesn't based on my experience, because I've had good results even without leaving the greenhouse go so low, even in the summertime. So I don't necessarily think temperature variation helps them in any way to spike or induce a spiking. I think they're worm growers all year round, but I do seem to see a blooming season or a blooming pattern here in my environment at least. Right, so let's just look at the front. So some Tolumnias are newer, so they're tinier, they don't have as many growths. Some are, let's say, divisions, because I've had dehydration issues in the past. As I keep telling you guys, I have dehydration issues with these guys quite a lot, hence why the self-watering pots. So some are divisions of other Tolumnias that I got to in time, unlike the one today. Some are older and you will see they're much bushier, but let's just see. I'm gonna show you the years of repotting, and they're not necessarily the years of purchase, but they're the oldest records that I have. So this is Tolumnia Gyrafirma Barbie. This is a new one. I got it last year if I'm not mistaken. Let's see the tag. Yeah, February 2023, that's the first record of it, and it's doing quite well. I do not see a flower spike, but then again, this growth here, and I'm not focused, this growth is the newest one and it's not completely mature, so I'm still hoping that maybe she will bloom this year. She should be a beautiful, beautiful pink. The one on the back, I have a suspicion is an older one because it looks bushier. We have some flower spikes here. Tolumnia Red Spread. Yes, this is older. 2 years maybe. June 2022. This is, I forgot to put the date when I repotted it in these pots, but I think it was November 2023 or October. So I need to put a date on the tag, but definitely this is a 2022 Tolumnia. And you can see there is quite a bit of growth here and nice flower spikes. This should be a new one because it's tinier, but it's still blooming, which is great. Yeah. Cardinal Bird. Ooh, this should be again reddish, right? Because it's Cardinal Bird. Yep, it's a newer one, 1 year old. Here, this looks like an older one that I divided, or not. No, June 2023. This is, oh, Tolumnia Gyrafirma Leopard. This is a repurchase. I purchased it first, I think, from Schwerter, or I don't remember, and it suffered on transport. It didn't make it, so I repurchased it from Orchids Deluxe, I think. I don't remember. So I think it was a purchase from February 2023. It didn't last, or it had issues on transport, and I repurchased it from a different nursery, and here she is. This one lasted. We have some new growth, but she's a pretty new Tolumnia orchid. This one might be an older one that I divided. Yeah, Gyrafirma White. We had this one in bloom at some point. I don't remember when, but we did. It's an older one. Yep, August 2021, but it suffered some dehydration issues, so I saved the best looking side of it. I removed the one that was drying out and suffering, and this is her. She is picking up speed. She looks good. Let's go down. Here, this is an older one, but again, I divided. I do sometimes divide, remove the older growths just to make sure that I have room in the pot. June 2022, yeah. This is Tolumnia Gyrafirma Sahara. You guys know this one. She's a bigger Tolumnia and she's doing quite well. Next to her, September 2021. This is an older Tolumnia. We have some flower spikes and a lot of growth. We will probably have more flower spikes as this orchid matures. Golden Sunset. This is Golden Sunset. Didn't have too many blooms from this one. She's not such a prolific bloomer, but she's bushy, she's healthy, so that's good. This flower spike was starting to grow into the glass, so that's why I rotated it. In front, I know this one, I had issues with the back growth when I purchased it. I saved the fan, and the fan grew roots, as we can see. I'm not focused. So it's doing well now, but yeah, oh, where is, I don't have the tag for it, but I know who she is. She is Gyrafirma Corona, or Gyrafirma, something like that. I really like this orchid, but it did not handle transport well. It's one from last year, I think, or maybe last year. All right, this one, I should repot. I was trying out the cocoa husk medium for it, and it's not going well. Do you see? Do you like this growth? I don't like it. No, I need to repot it. But this is a new one. This is Tolumnia Magenta, and it's August 2023. Yeah, it's a newer one. I need to repot it. There are roots, but the roots don't last. They don't like this potting mix. Also, I had issues with the back growth, as you can see. During transport, probably it had some issues, but it's okay. She's bouncing back. It's just going to take a while for her to reach maturity. In the back, let's see, we have, let's not break anything. We have an older one. This is Tolumnia Gyro, super brown. We had her in bloom many times. She's an older one. January 2022. That's the, let's say, oldest record, but I think she's older than that. And next to it, we know Snow Carmine, again, a very old Tolumnia. 2021, I see in the back there. And next to it, sorry guys, let's move some of these orchids so I don't create any more victims today. This one I need to move because the flower spike is very long, so I should put it down. This one, I don't remember who she is. I'm sorry, Minako. There you go. This is Gyrafirma. Big Bang. I have two big bangs. Oh yeah, that's right, I do have two big bangs, and I mentioned it. These are vigorous hybrids. Look how pretty she is. I have another one down there. This one I think is a 2022 purchase. No, it's a 2023, February 2023. So yeah, this one evolved really fast. I have another one of them. They are always a little bit different because they're seed grown, so I'm hoping for some variation. In the front, Gyrafirma Orange. This is a newer one. Not so new actually, 2022. All right, so it's not the newest one, but it's a newer one to my collection. We have 3 flower spikes on this one, very nice. This is new. This is Gyrafirma Red Devil, and I got it last year. I remember. It's dry. I need to water these guys today. Right, so this one already has some beautiful blooms. Look how red she is. She is gorgeous. Let's go down. Right, in the back there, I don't think this is new. This is Sahara Flyer Black Magic. Do we have spikes yet? You look like you've completed growth. Are you gonna make some spikes? Oh, I think I see one. Yes, I do see one. Look at that. So this is an older one. I remember her, 2021. There you go. They might be older than that, really. So we have a flower spike here, and this fan in the front might make a flower spike as well, which is nice. I need to, maybe I should rotate it because the spikes tend to grow into the wall because the wall is white. So I'm gonna rotate it so I don't have issues. In the back there, let's see, this is Gyra something Goals. This is old in my collection, I remember it. It bloomed before. We have some tall flower spikes. I think she will need to be moved, but she is very bushy. And this one here, this one was already in bloom. This is kind of newer. It's a pink one. It's the Pink Lady, and it's February 2023. All right, so 1-year-old orchid in my collection, but it looks very good. It had a very good growth, actually. Let's go in front. This, maybe it's newer because she's tiny. 2023, yeah, February 2023. This is Gyrafirma Carnival. Do you hear? They're dry. They need watering, but we do have a nice flower spike. Next to her, this one, again, June 2023, newer orchid. This is Tolumnia Fancy. I don't know how this one is supposed to look like, but I don't think she will spike soon. Maybe when these growths mature. Oh, again, she's very dry, but we do have some good roots. Look at that. I need to water these guys today. And next to her, this is Red Sun. This is an older orchid in my collection, and I had dehydration issues. Yeah, there you go, 2021. And this is what happens when you have dehydration and when you don't, or your medium doesn't keep up with you're watering. You see yellowing leaves. Now I could not remove this growth because it's right in the middle. So that's why it stayed on the orchid. The orchid can extract whatever nutrients it wants from those leaves. But these are the lucky ones actually that managed to evade my lack of care, which is awful. And this is the other big bang with the 5 flower spikes. There we go. Very tall, very bushy orchid. Older orchid in my collection, I would bet 21, 22 or 2021, 2022. So these are all of my Tolumnias, and yeah, let's consider this a collection update and how everybody's doing. As you can see, accidents happen, and that's okay. Obviously it's not nice when they happen, but I do understand how sometimes just, you know, life gets in the way. You're just not in that mindset. You're just way too tired and exhausted to do something, and you're gonna postpone it tomorrow, next week. But now you know what can happen if you postpone stuff. Not good to postpone, but if you do and if it happens, I personally understand, and I don't think you should, you know, dwell on it too much. Learn from the experience, or learn from me, so you don't let things drag so much. It's fine to postpone some stuff, but don't postpone them for a few months if you have a chance. You know, if you have the time to do things, just do them, because you might lose some more kids. Oh, I think I'm coming down with a cold. Great, fantastic. Alrighty, so thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today and you learned something. And yeah, just learn from my mistakes. That's why I show them to you. And with that said, hope you have a great day, and I hope it's not so cold in your area. It's not unusually cold in my area, but we do have a few days out of the year which are very, very cold because it usually snows in the mountains. It's a great time to go and play in the snow, if you like snow. I grew up in snow. I don't miss it yet so much, so I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna visit the snow soon. Maybe not, but definitely I need to turn on the AC more in the grow space because it's very cold. Right, so that said, thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!